Got him.
You can't see us, guys, but we can see you.
That was a loud slurp.
Bro, I love slurping some coffee, you know what I'm saying?
No.
You like coffee?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, I'm all natural, baby.
Coffee is natural. It's literally just ground beans and water.
Okay, Starbucks.
Bro, I made this in my house.
I guess we could drop the intro.
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi.
It's Grayson!
Hello. Hello there. It's me. I'm the Bad Batch man, ready to talk about the men of the Bad Batch. Get this off me now, please.
What's up, guys? Welcome back.
The cavalry has arrived.
Yes. Bad Batch, baby. We're back. Dark Side Secrets. We had 3 episodes of Bad Batch this morning. Yes. But how you guys doing? I'm
Swell.
tired, man.
Go to bed.
Later. I'll see you
Yeah.
guys later. I'll see you guys later.
Tony, you sleepy too?
I just go to
Nah.
sleep on stream.
Nah, I went right.
Just
I went right to bed after 2-3 hours of editing this morning, so now I'm good.
Oh yeah,
That's
you
true.
did your
I'm chilling.
reaction videos fast.
Yeah, bro. If you're not first, you're last. Ricky Bobby, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
I feel like it was. I mean, I didn't do any reactions, but I was watching, thinking like with how you and other people do reactions, and I was like, this honestly probably isn't too bad to edit because like you kind of know what moments you're gonna react to, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. But
Especially because you did all 3 reactions. You did a reaction for each episode.
separate. Yeah, I did it
Yeah.
separate. Yep. Yeah. So let's see who we got in the chat before we get into it. Michael Martin in the building. Let's go. What's up, Michael? Danny boy, hello there. What's up? Nick, what up? You're still at work? Of course you are, you freaking bum. Always working. Who works on
He's
Bad
on the-
Batch Day?
He's on that Bad Batch Sigma grind set,
Sigma grind.
Well, he
The-
hasn't even finished the second season, so he has to finish
What?
the second
What?
season
Sorry,
and
I
then
feel like-
watch today's 3 episodes.
Hey, spoiler alert. Omega's force sensitive, Nick. Go back to work and read something, huh? Go watch it. Sorry if anybody
Yes.
didn't think this was going to be a spoiler episode, but Omega's force sensitive. You probably guessed it though, right? I feel like that's been
There's some stuff
So-
that she's doing in like even in earlier seasons where you're like,
Oh yeah, even the stuff
Yeah.
with the animal stuff, like even in the
Yeah.
first season, like that's very like Ezra-ish, Ahsoka-ish. Like
yep.
we've seen that before, but 3 episodes today. Holy shit! Yeah, you loser. So we had 3 episodes today, so let's go through and just talk about each one by one. So the first one was Confined,
Fine.
right? So Will, we'll start with you. What did you think of that first episode?
I really liked it. So for me, and Grayson might get mad at this, I'm not an Andor hater, but these 3 episodes, like back to back, all I could think of is like, man, I wish the first 3 episodes of Andor were like this, where I was like that bought in, you know what I mean? That first episode was really good. I very much enjoy the prison aspect of it all. This is the first time in a long time where I'm actually kind of bought in on Omega, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Beforehand, like the first season, I was like, all right, Omega, like just ditch her. Some Sid can babysit and the Bad Batch can go do stuff. Second season, I was like, all right, they're trying to push me in on it. Now, third season, I'm like, Omega, let's go. Like, you need to take care of business. Crosshair's not doing what he needs to. She's getting older. She's getting more mature, and you understand the decisions that she's making. There are times where, obviously, like with the little yarn straw stuffed animal thing that she has, like the thing on the Marauder, but I really am enjoying Omega's character more, especially after that first episode. I was super bought in.
Nice. What about you, Grayson? What'd you think about the Andor-esque first episode?
I mean, it's weirdly kind of comparable in terms of how the first and the third episode are kind of, I don't want to say slow burns because they get going pretty quick, especially by that third episode. But the first episode specifically, it's showing the cyclical nature of what their day in, day out is, and you get to see that time passage, right, where the screen goes to black after seeing that first day, and it's using these specific shots, and then her hair is longer, and you're like, oh, so some time has passed, and then it does it again. I think it does it maybe 3 or 4 times in total, kind of showing the progression, and I was locked in. I was going to say the same thing, that Omega, I'm completely like invested. I was invested what was going on with her. Because you're starting to see kind of like with the way Ezra was in Rebels, the way Ahsoka was in Clone Wars, these kid characters, right? That it seems like everybody for the most part doesn't really like. By the end of it, they make you like that character.
100%.
Yeah. So dude, I was getting kind of weepy with is it Batcher the Hound? I was like, I loved that like Lurk Hound or whatever it was called. It was great. The fact they were like going to black and then it's like, here's a new day, and then it's using the exact same shots, but you're noticing these little differences, right? It felt that feels so different from what I've seen from anything in Star Wars. And there's something that I've seen in the past that like gives off those vibes. But the first episode specifically, I really, really enjoyed. But now they're off. Well, that's the third episode, but still they're off that rock. So
yeah. So I enjoyed that first episode right away. And it's funny, Will mentioned Andor, because the whole time I was in my mind, I'm like, man, this is kind of like how Andor was, except for Andor, it was a slow burn. This kind of was a slow burn too, but I liked it, and like, I enjoyed it. Andor, I was like, I went right back to bed.
It's also a third of the length if you think about it, right? Like it's doing that slow burn thing, but only over the span of 25 minutes versus a whole hour. So
So that was cool. And then like the stuff, I was just so intrigued with all the cloning stuff, the blood stuff, how they took Omega's blood and now let's say deleted it and threw it away, right? And like she did that over like 80 days, because I don't know if you noticed, but when the troopers came in and caught her with the little toy thing, if you looked at the windowsill, there was 4 rows of scratches.
Yeah, so like I paused at that point. I was like, I wonder how long it's been.
Yeah, so it was like 80 days. So the first time we saw it, it was like 20 days, and then it was like boom, boom, boom. So and then like if you didn't notice that, you saw her hair was longer right away. She started to look more like her sister. So all that stuff was just so interesting that it's like a big deal with her. And I was just wondering, like, why can't her blood be in the system? What's so special about her?
Yeah.
So like I was bought in right away.
Yeah.
M count.
When they said M count, I was like, midichlorians, baby, we're back. Let's go. That had me hyped.
It's so wild that we like read, or that we're watching this right after we all just read Plagueis as well,
right?
Where a lot of that stuff is tied into it, and you're like, interesting.
Yeah,
that whole third episode, and obviously we'll get to it, but like where Palpatine is walking around for Project Necromancer, that's all I was thinking of was Plagueis the entire time.
Yeah.
Also, the animation for Palpatine walking around, like he looked incredible. Like to just see him full body. The only thing that took me out of it a little bit was his arms were kind of like
his arms were down at his side. Don't you expect it to be kind of slightly like up, you know?
Or like Jedi.
Oh,
where they're like in the arm, like that. That's the one thing where I was like, rather than him walking around like a Sims character.
I was about to say he kind of had a plug walk to him, you know?
Yeah. So let's catch up with the chat before we get to the next episode. So Mika Zakinin, hello there. What's up? Welcome.
A dope last name.
Michael says, I think this may be the most hype I've been for the Bad Batch. Me too.
Agreed.
Like 3 good episodes that are like building a story, and I'm like hooked right away. It wasn't like how the first 2 seasons were. This is different. Nick said, I'm not stressed about spoilers. So hearing stuff like this just makes me more interested.
Well, they're all dead, so.
Yeah, they all died. Crosshair's reactions and small moments with Omega are turning me onto her slowly. I'm hating her less. Crosshair was so funny because she's just there. Oh, I did this with the dog. I did that. And he's like, what's the mission? Get out of here. Like, he was fed up with her.
Yeah.
Noah's in the building. What up, boys? Noah said, really liked episode 1, just so dark and eerie. Yeah. Yava Trooper, hello. Welcome. Peridigum YT, I guarantee that
Paradigm.
Omega, yeah, same thing, bro. Tomato. Come on.
Paradigm White.
Spelling police. We got an officer here in the building today. I guarantee that Omega will be the Boba at the end, or we will see her in live action and her finding out Boba, aka Alpha. Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Will be the Boba at the end. What does that mean?
I don't
Like
know.
the guy that was in that trailer, like the guy who we were like, oh, that could be any clone.
Speaking of Boba, we'll get into that in a second. But
Oh yeah.
Any chance Project Necromancer is Starkiller? It's obviously Snoke, though, with the Abomination reference by Palpatine. Yeah, so the Abominations reference, I guess in the Rise of Skywalker novelization, they refer to Snoke as a spliced abomination. So
yeah.
We'll
get to it.
Dude, that third episode, I was like on the edge of my seat. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Dude,
music's been phenomenal. Of course. It's so
Kevin Kiner, he is like to me, his music is the future of Star Wars for me. Like it's like, and there's like, especially with Bad Batch, especially the end of Clone Wars and Tales of the Jedi, dude.
And Ahsoka, he did Ahsoka too.
He did do Ahsoka, which the Ahsoka credits theme is a banger. I love Kevin Kiner. Like the fact that he was able to do kind of like more tribal, almost mystical type of music with Ahsoka, but then when you get to this like technological science-based stuff, it's very synthy and eerie, like Noah said. It's just I'm so on board with Kevin Kiner's music.
Even for the stuff with the clones, it's like marching band, like kind of like triumphant, where like even just the main theme for Bad Batch, when you start the episode, that like those horns blare and it kind of sounds like a march for those soldiers. I love how it can obviously Star Wars, like it's so cliche on the nose to say that like the story of Star Wars is hand in hand with the music in the way that the story is told. But for Bad Batch, it's like really on display here in terms of it not being like just something that helps, but it's hand in hand, and it is so intertwined at this point, to the point where like us who are big nerds for this stuff, but like Michael just said, when you hear those certain things, you're like, man, the music is bumping right now.
Yep.
So let's go on to the second episode, Paths Unknown. Will, what'd you think of this one?
I liked it. It was my least favorite out of the three, only because I didn't really get the info that I needed. Obviously, we needed at some point to get the setup of like where Hunter and where Wrecker are. We got that drop of like Echo and Rex can't be here for 2 rotations. Like we know that time has passed, and obviously when they go into what's the blue lady with the horns name that starts with a D?
Durand.
Yeah. When they go into that palace, like you see them walk in.
That was cool.
And when they walk in and you see the wear and tear on their armor for how long it's been, and like the paint's chipped and everything, that was really cool. I think my favorite part of that episode was seeing the interaction between Hunter and Wrecker with the younger Regs, just because they have that kind of like, it's not necessarily like a we're brothers sort of deal, like an older brother thing like it is with Omega. It's almost like a father figure or like a teacher professor sort of deal, which I really enjoyed. They're going to, I would assume it's Pabu, right? The island that they're going to drop them off at. So I'm assuming we'll see them later on down the road. I'm also interested to see, I think my biggest question out of that episode is how many more young Regs are there like that around the galaxy?
Yep. Yo, so shout out to Nick with the $4.99 super chat. Peak live stream. You know what that means.
My trick's gonna work on me. Only money.
Thank you for the super chat, my hardworking brother. Grayson, what'd you think about the second episode?
I I really enjoyed this episode. I will agree with Will. It's like it was my least favorite out of the bunch. But what I liked about it was that it was one of those kind of classic Bad Batch side adventures, but with a purpose.
Yes,
that
was the biggest thing there. It was like the difference between the two was that it like that's exactly what I was going to say. It felt like a filler episode, but that wasn't just filler.
Yeah, they were like, we got to get this info so we can find Omega.
It pushed the story, which was the best part of that.
Yeah. I thought that was great. I see Zinshi. I just looked this up because I didn't know who this was. Now I do. That the Durand lady she's from the Addams family. She's been in a lot of stuff. She's a pretty big actress, but she was the voice of
from the Addams family.
Yeah, the 1999 one
right now.
Like the da-da-da-da.
Let's see. Is the mom Morticia? Is that her name?
Yeah, Morticia.
Yeah. Yes, I heard her voice and I was like, this lady stands out way too much. I feel like she's somebody and I don't know who she is. So thank you for pointing that out, Zinchi. I also thought that castle was really cool. And I mean, do you guys, I didn't do any research. Do you guys know who that's? Okay. I want to say it has to do. You guys remember Vizago and Rebels?
Yeah.
He had a broken horn. That guy also. I want to say that he is connected to that family. I don't think he's the same guy, but they're all Deveronians with the horns. But I'm like, what family is this? This is super intriguing, very high fantasy, which I really like. That this giant castle. But yeah, the entire idea of like the Republic. Or Hemlock had been, working on these experiments that weren't cloning and having these vines turn into basically this like pseudo Sarlacc pit vine thing, which was absolutely wild. I thought it was really cool, and I love when Bad Batch gets to delve into horror a little bit. We get to get those thriller vibes when they're going through those hallways and stuff, and those weird like vine head crab things from Half-Life. I was like, this is cool. I like this. Yeah, least favorite out of the batch, no pun intended, but still a really, really good episode.
Apparently we see the Durand crime syndicate in the first season of Bad Batch.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
The Pikes, that Pike that they brought him, he was the one that cut off his horn. And Omega was like, no, don't kill him. And he just cut off his horn and let him live. Yeah,
I don't even remember. I just
rewatched it all.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that's why he threw the dude his horn back.
Yeah,
he's like, this is the guy that did it. Here's your horn. Give me what I need. So yeah,
that's cool.
Completely forgot.
Yep,
it has been a little bit. Season 1 of Bad Batch. I basically remember the beginning, the Gregor episode, and the end. So yeah,
it looks like they're not really from anything other than Bad Batch, because when you look on everybody's favorite Star Wars fandom, Star Wars Wiki, it looks like their only appearances are in that first season episode, Infested, and then the other thing that's listed is Paths Unknown. So this episode.
They seem like characters that would pop up in books and comics. Right?
That's exactly what I was going to say. They seemed like EU characters where like you saw it and I was like, I feel like I should know who these are. I was like, I'm like, oh man, I'm going to have to
I'm a fraud.
Figure out. Yeah, exactly. Where I was trying to like go through the list of alien species in my head of like, who could these guys be? When would they be brought up? But it really looks like the only time they're referenced are in the first season and then this season of Bad Batch.
I'd like to see more of them. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love crime syndicates and stuff in Star Wars beyond the Hutts and the Pikes. Like, we get all of them. Give me more criminal syndicates.
Super expanded universe vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I enjoyed the second episode, but like just like both of you guys said, it was my least favorite out of the three. I loved when we first saw the two regs, the little regs, how they kind of sounded like Daniel Logan, but it wasn't. But when they got to the cave to Mox, the
oldest one,
100% Daniel Logan.
Yeah.
And like it's in the credits, it said it. And even on Instagram, I tagged him and he reposted my story.
Yeah.
So,
let's go.
Yeah. So guys, Daniel Logan's my best friend. If you guys didn't know, Clone Wars have begun. But it was cool that they brought him back.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure he'll be in another episode when they go to see Fat Mace Windu. So That was cool. It also, when they were breaking into that base, it kind of felt like a Fallen Order level of video game when they're trying to navigate through and when they're escaping and fighting the things and stuff. It felt like video game vibes for sure.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Like, I don't want to say it felt like filler, but it had a purpose and it gave us the things that we needed to know. So I was cool with the start of 2 of them, but I definitely see why they gave us 3. Because imagine just getting 1, then waiting a week, and then getting that and waiting a whole week. It's kind of like,
especially
like Andor, but not good.
Yeah, especially because like we didn't get Hunter or sorry, not Omega or Wrecker at all in the first episode. Yeah. It was like you gotta see what they're expect we will probably bounce back and forth a little bit until they finally all get reunited because I mean now we were all speculating before with the trailer like, oh, there's Crosshair, he's in his armor and stuff. Like Crosshair is with them now, or with Omega, so they're about to have a full squad back. Well, I'll wait till the 3rd episode because I had a question about Crosshair, but I'll wait.
Do you think that now? Well, I guess I'll wait till the end of the 3rd episode too because we got to talk about it first. I had a question that I want to ask you guys about theories, so just remind me not to forget that.
Let's catch up with the chat, and then we're gonna get into the 3rd one because that's gonna be the juicy, very long discussion. Because that 3rd episode, I was like, "Holy shit, this
jam packed."
This is a lot. All right, so Noah said, "You guys peeped that poster they dropped today? Kind of has a boba tease. A boba tease on the poster.
Boba tea. I love boba tea.
Oh my god!
For all 3 of us? No, I'm kidding. Pull this up.
Let me bring it up right meow.
Nobody likes that tapioca bullshit.
Because I want to make sure he's not lying. Or where is what? Is there like a slave 1 somewhere?
Is Boba in the room with us right now?
Where's the boba? The bobaness? Noah.
The boba goodness. Can you? I'm trying to look, but I can't see because his chat is in the way.
Oh crap! Hold on.
No, you're good. No offense, Noah. I gotta analyze this.
Yeah.
So they got the castle in the background. We didn't see that ship in the premiere, but we got all the commandos. I don't see it.
Noah, you're from New Jersey and you lie. I don't trust you anymore. What's the boba tease?
This poster is great, by the way.
It is. It's beautiful. I noticed it on the banner on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And then they dropped this after.
Do you know what this poster looks like, though? It looks
every other Star Wars poster ever.
Yeah.
Well, it honestly looks like what's his name, who's been making those Clone Wars posters, who Hannah just interviewed.
Dude. Yeah.
I forget his name. He's so good at what he does.
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
I'm gonna look it up because I gotta shout him out. But it's seriously, when I saw that posted, like he's always been good at what he does, but he's been getting so like dialed into this kind of theme that when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is he made this.
Didn't Hannah interview him?
Yeah.
So people are saying the crossbow gun,
Omega's gun.
I mean, I guess the scope and the barrel kind of looks like Boba's E3, but it also probably is. I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with Boba. Yeah. That is a new crossbow that was not in the couple 3 episodes, but yeah, interesting.
I like that way better than the bowcaster that she had.
That's a rat. That little like
yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like that thing because like the Night Sisters use that, right?
Yeah, in Fallen Order, the Night Brothers, they were using them.
Oh,
Jason Benulo, if I'm pronouncing his last name right.
Jason Derulo? Oh.
Yeah, Jason Benulo. He probably gets that all the time. Sorry, dude, you really get at what you do. Go follow him, and Hannah interviewed him, so go watch that. There it is.
Dude, yeah, I've been following him. He's just some. I saw that Delta Squad poster. Oh my, Kanan poster, bro.
Right?
I sent that in the chat because I knew you would have a heart attack. I saw that, and I'm like, yo. That
absolutely
is sick.
I'm waiting. Please.
Yeah. His stuff is fire, man. Like, bro, you saw this Kanan one?
I didn't until just now.
That's awesome.
You need to put that on a t-shirt and go to sleep in it every night.
That's a great idea.
All right, let's see. James says Kevin Kiner is Star Wars TV music. Yep.
Him and Ludwig.
Yep. Music was pretty nice. Says Zenshi. Yes. Best live stream on YouTube, period. Hit that like button, y'all. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Star Wars only fans, let's go. Love the name. Very edgy. The music is almost its own character when done right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's the sixth man off the bench, baby. Mika says episode 1 and 3 thumbs up, 2 kind of filler.
But I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed it the most more than most other filler.
Filler has a negative connotation, but it's like it serves the story. So
yeah, the only stuff where like it's really filler, where you're like, come on, what are we doing? Is episodes like in the second season where they do that like weird pod racing thing.
Yeah,
like, stuff like that where it's like, all right, is it really that big of a deal other than just to set up Sid being a traitor? Like we don't really need to see.
I mean, it does set up a lot. We're getting on a tangent here, but it does set up your attachment to Tech, because to be honest, I had no attachment to Tech whatsoever until season 2.
Really?
He doesn't do anything.
I love.
He does
Tech,
everything. Dude. He's the brains behind everything.
Tech can do
my calculations.
Dude, he can do everything else that all the other Bad Batch can do, other than like lift stuff up like Wrecker or have a tattoo like Hunter. He can pretty much
just
do
because he does a
else.
thing doesn't make me like emotionally invested in his character, you know?
I don't know. I love Tech.
No, he steps up in season 2. That's what I'm saying. They were like, you knew he was going to die.
This is the boy
shout out
right here.
Shout out to Millsy with the $2 super chat.
Is that Black Series?
Omega Gun. Speaking of Black Series,
my trick's gonna work on me. On the money.
Super chat, baby.
Speaking of Black Series, did they do a Black Series Watto?
No.
They need to. Dude, I have a Watto plushie.
Well, James says we're likely going to get the bounty hunters hunting Omega in the next couple of episodes.
Yeah.
The Emperor, we're sparing no cost. Yeah, that'll be part of the episode 3 discussion.
You think they're going to get Fennec Shan to help her find?
That's what my question was when we were going to, when I said, remind me about that. They definitely brought Cad Bane back to do that.
Yeah.
Every bounty hunter we saw, even Asajj, is hired to. Wow. Okay, we'll get into it. Hold on.
Yeah.
Keep it in your pants, Grayson. Come on.
I'm sorry.
Come on. Chris is waking up for the 3rd time today. Okay. Everybody's favorite alcoholic from Philly. What up?
He goes to sleep, watches first episode of Bad Batch, goes to sleep, watch the second episode of Bad Batch.
That was great. I need a nap.
Skywalker's Academy, what's up? Are we getting some bounty hunters and maybe Ventress next week? Probably, I think within the next few episodes, because the people that saw the first 8, they said there's a lot of like meaningful cameos. So we'll see.
Do we go to 1 a week now?
Yeah.
Until the middle of the season?
Yeah, I think we could do 1 a week for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Then it's 2, then it's 1-1, then it's 2, then it's 1-1-1. It's like some weird thing. So
trying to get it out by May 4th.
What's better, the first 3 episodes or all of Andor? Give me these first 3 episodes of Bad Batch on repeat.
Yep.
Palpatine. I'm sorry, Grayson.
Cole is gonna kill me. No, Cole's gonna kill me for this. But thus far, I love Andor. Oh gosh, putting me on blast right now. But that 3rd episode with Palpatine, and I think right now I'm leaning towards Bad Batch. I'm sorry, Cole.
Yes, he's come to the dark side.
My thing is,
I didn't say the whole show.
My thing is, like, the way Palpatine has been used in the Bad Batch is
amazing.
It's amazing, and everybody a lot of people, and me being one of them, for the first season of Andor was like, it's really cool, but like I don't I guess it's too I don't want to sound extreme that I don't care about the characters in Andor, but like I'm not like emotionally attached to them as much as any other Star Wars project I've watched. However, there's a really good I read an article the other day about why people who say stuff like key jingling or fan service, they're incorrect, because seeing a character interact with an already well-established character is the easiest way to sell people on that character being well-established. Now, it can be used the wrong way for somebody like, don't kill me, Star Wars internet, but somebody like Reva, who's kind of like shoved in there a little bit in terms of story. I don't hate Reva as much as a lot of other people. However, I just shoving a character in there and being like, oh, they're going to interact with Obi-Wan Kenobi, everybody's going to love them. Obviously, that's not the way it works. However, stuff like this where Palpatine can come in and just use his power to be like, hey, I'm making sure all of this is going on, come in, dip out, and then the story progresses is so perfect. And that's what I would love to see in Andor season 2.
This is super random. I just want to get this out here. In Kenobi, Reva should have been Barasafi. Just saying.
Oh,
you're so right.
That beef between her and Vader already exists because if she knew he was Anakin, I know that's not Bad Batch, but I'm just saying because, anyway. But you're right.
Shout out to Millsy with another $2 super chat.
Magic's gonna work on me. Only money.
2 is so cool.
You think they escaped too easily? I mean, I thought it didn't bother me.
It didn't bother me. I think
the
fact that the Emperor was there, they were so preoccupied with the Emperor, and the fact that Nala Se had been playing the long game and was trying to protect Omega, I think, and also the weak spot that Emery Carr has for Omega, which, should we just go ahead and talk about episode 3?
Yeah. I was waiting for you to finish whatever you were saying, and then
let's just go ahead and get into it. Yeah.
So, Will, go. Episode 3. Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. It was really cool. It was good.
All right.
That was the
end of the stream, guys. We'll see you next week.
Yep. I liked it. Bam, 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 bam. That's it. The credits roll. But when it comes to stuff like that, I really enjoyed the episode because that's the best part of the animated series is when stuff sets up other stuff like that in the way that it works. Like, it's so intertwined into the story of Star Wars that the way that works is it's beautiful. And that third episode really did that the best way possible.
Yeah.
What about you? Oh, you guys switched. I'm dizzy. What about,
I was about to say, I don't.
What about you, Grayson? What'd you think of the third episode?
Oh, I mean, this is why I watch the Bad Batch, is for episodes like this. It's for Crosshair episodes and stuff like that. And I'm not saying anything against the Bad Batch. I like the other stuff, but like these episodes right here are just, they are so nice. Yeah, I mean, the stuff that I want to talk about is with Palpatine and Project Necromancer. I want to say also, this is probably going to be a hot take, and I'm only saying this in canon, but so far, Hemlock is one of my favorite Star Wars villains, and I think he's better than Thrawn in canon.
Bro, say that
like
again?
Thrawn. Hemlock, currently in canon, until we get more Thrawn, I like him better as a villain comparatively.
Even the 2 seasons of Rebels of Thrawn, that's canon. That's a lot of Thrawn. He was badass.
Maybe I'll go back. It's been a bit. I'm gonna go back and rewatch the.
He shot at the Bendu with no fear. This man is a savage, bro.
But he lost. He lost against the Bendu.
I do agree with when people are like, Thrawn needs to be more ruthless. That's something where obviously Hemlock is better in that sense than Thrawn has been, especially in terms of like, if you want to go for recency bias of like Ahsoka, he's not really that ruthless in what we saw in Ahsoka, but from what we've seen of Hemlock, and obviously we've seen more of Hemlock than we have of live action Thrawn.
Yeah.
But I do agree there of like the overarching villain where you feel that presence of like when he's on screen, you're like, oh, something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah.
With Thrawn in Ahsoka, it was like, oh, that's our guy. And it was more like, oh, we're excited to see him, but it's not like that gut-wrenching thing of like, oh man, dude, like this could be really bad when this goes down. I just don't think there's that I guess that overarching fear yet for live action Thrawn.
Maybe I'm specifically, I guess, I'm thinking more recency with live action Thrawn. It has been a minute. I mean, I like Thrawn and Rebels, but I always got the impression, and I have yet to read Heir to the Empire trilogy. It's something I want to do on Tales from the Archives, but it always seemed like Thrawn was a lot more menacing in Legends than he was in canon.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting, like there's this reverence for Thrawn where people are just talking about how awesome he is, and I'm like, and I believe it. I know he is, but I don't think canon has quite got there yet. And just having a new character like Hemlock, and I believe it's Jimmy Simpson who does the voice. He's from Westworld, season 1. Phenomenal actor. His voice acting is really good, and there's like, he just seems like a sociopath. Like he doesn't smile, he doesn't laugh, he doesn't frown. Like he even says in this episode 3, he's like, there's no room for emotion or compassion in this facility. Like he is all about the experiment and like it's just so cool. But no knocking the Thrawn. I'm just saying I really, really like Hemlock. I think he's a very, very compelling Imperial character.
Oh, that is Jimmy Simpson.
Mm-hmm. I had to look it up. Yeah.
So I love this episode, right? I mean, everything with them escaping was cool, but the whole stuff that had me hooked was seeing Palps pull up, hearing him talk. Ian McDermott, I just love this man.
I never get old. I never get tired of him. He's the best.
Never. And like when they went to that room and they opened the door and you saw all the red lasers, like we saw a tease of that in the first episode, and I was like, "Ooh, what's back there? I want to go back there." And then they went back there and you saw all the tubes and the big thing in the center. I was just like, wow, some crazy dark shit is going to happen in here this season. And then he opened the tube and I'm like, that's some crazy security. I was hoping we would get a glimpse of what was in there, but
I think you know.
Yeah, it's got to be something Snokish looking or something like.
I will say that comment earlier about what if it's Starkiller. That I
was like, thinking it
in the back of my head when we didn't see anything and there was just a white light. I would love for it just to be like you camera pans around and you see this like just a knocked out Starkiller just asleep in that pod. That would be crazy. Obviously, probably a reach. Definitely not going to happen. But that would be awesome to just see a Clone Wars animated style of Star
that exists. It exists in the DLC for the Force Unleashed 1. They made a Clone Wars animated style skin for Starkiller.
Why don't I know what that looks like? What?
Look it up right now. Look up Force Unleashed Clone Wars style skin. It's pretty great.
I like the buildup at the end with the blood going around, and when it finally got to Omega, and it was like ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, dude, that using that as like a timer was so cool.
Yeah, that built the tension, and then seeing her go, hers is the only blood that takes the M counts and doesn't decrease it. So it's like so does that mean she's force sensitive for sure, or does it just mean her blood can handle it because she has female blood and they've been using nothing but male blood? Is that the key to cloning the Jedi? Is her female pure clone blood versus a male's blood to,
Yeah, it's so I want to know more. And I listened to Will, did you find it?
Yeah, I did. I don't know if it's the right one, but
if you pull it up, I can tell you.
It definitely looks pretty cool.
He should be standing like this, like
in just classic Starkiller stance.
Yeah, with the saber behind him.
You tell me if this is it.
Yeah, pull it up.
That one, or is it?
No, that is a fan art thing, actually.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying.
No, that's a mod on Steam Workshop.
That looks really good, but
I believe that's it right there.
This one?
Is
that the same one? I don't know. I'll find it. You can text me later.
I'll find it while you guys are talking. But
yeah,
I want to show it to the people.
See. But yeah, that third episode, man, how it ended and how he was like, I have the whole whatever of the Empire at my disposal. Right away when he said that, I was like, okay, that explains in the trailer. This dude literally sent every bounty hunter ever after Omega, knowing how valuable she is. So Cad Bane, Fennec, Asajj, maybe we'll see even what if Boba Fett is hunting her and he doesn't even know it's his sister? Because maybe Boba just joined the Empire, like a young Boba, a hungry bounty hunter. And like, what if Boba's the one that finds Omega first?
Dude, we have to get a scene where Boba is either hunting Omega or they're in the same area, because at this point, at least from my own knowledge, is Boba still running around with Cad Bane kind of like that father figure aspect? Because if
Could be.
not, what I'm going to say, there's two things here. I think we could actually see that deleted Clone Wars arc of Cad Bane shooting Boba Fett and getting the helmet thing. Now that he's a little bit older.
I thought about
that's
that,
already
but
happened.
He already has the plate on his head, though. Doesn't he already have the plate?
Cad Bane
It
already
happened.
has the implant in
The
his
plate.
head, so it's already happened.
For when Boba shot him in the head.
But you have to assume that already happened, and that's what that's based on.
Yeah, because if he had that plate on his head and he meets Boba after, it wouldn't really knock him out then.
Well, what I would love then is some sort of like Boba trying to go get Omega. He realizes she's a clone, takes his helmet off. She realizes he's a clone, and they kind of have that moment where Omega kind of has with all of the other clones of, oh, you're like me, or oh, you're a clone, like the Kid Regs did on whatever planet that was. They're like, oh, you guys are clones. You guys look different.
Yeah,
that kind of style, because obviously Omega and Boba Alpha are the most closely linked. They're the only two that are that similar, so they would probably see that resemblance in one another. But maybe it's that style of kind of like what we saw in season 1, where it was Hunter defending Omega, and it's kind of that Mexican standoff between him and Cad Bane. What if it's Boba standing in front of Omega like, hey, I'm going to defend you, and that's where we get a nod to Cad Bane being like, you already hit me once, kid.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, even if it's that one that we saw in the pre-viz from Celebration years ago, even if that's already happened, it doesn't mean they can't run into each other again.
Absolutely.
Oh, no, of course, yeah. And last time we saw Boba in Clone Wars, wasn't he with Aura Singh? So like, if Aura Singh is out there hunting, he could be with her running that mission, trying to find Omega too.
That's true. She should still be out there, because from as far as I know, she's not dead yet. Because what's his face from Solo kills her.
Was Boss with Aura Singh too? Or am I just putting everybody together?
In season 2, she was, but then they think she dies, and then there's that episode where Ahsoka is trying to defend Padme from Aura Singh, where she's having the dreams, and she's
Boss is with Boba and Aura Singh in that deleted Clone Wars episode, though, where like he's one of the guys standing behind him
and Embo
in that ring. Yeah, and Embo.
Oh shoot!
I would actually not be mad if we saw what's her name from the bounty hunter part of Survivor, where Cal meets Boba Fett.
That
girl. Paige.
The Kid chick.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind if we saw her too. Just throw all of me Dengar, throw me IG 88, throw me.
Did you know that Simon Pegg is the voice for Dengar?
Yes, I knew that.
That's I love that little connection.
Yeah.
But
he does another guy in the sequels too.
Unkar Plutt,
the fat
Blobfish.
Yeah. He stole my ship.
1/4 portion.
Yeah.
That's the guy. That's just like the guy.
Did you guys notice the glyphs in the room in Project Necromancer? There's like symbols on the floor.
Yes.
And if from what I can tell, it's the same symbols that we see in Ahsoka on Peridia. Which is which from what I understood, so there's some stuff that's Zepho, but then there's other ones that are like, I think I have the picture.
It's more of the circle ones with like the lines that connect. It almost looks like the Survivor load screens, like when you meditate. Yeah.
I've got it pulled up right here. Let me see if I can turn it sideways. Oh gosh.
I remember my first iPhone.
You see
if you send it to us, we can put it on. DM it to one of us. DM it to Tony.
We do have technology here, you know.
We have the technology.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna send it to the group chat real quick. So you
can pull it up. The Project Necromancer. We heard that in Mando during the Shadow Council, right? It was that. What other times was that referenced?
I don't know, but speaking of the
end
Mando
of season
thing,
2, I guess.
Yeah, speaking of the Mando thing, those red lasers is like exactly what Mando fights all those clones through. When he's going after Moff, when he's just offing all those Mando troopers. You know what I mean? With the Beskar troopers, that those red ray shields looks exactly the same way to get to that cloning. The clones at the end looks pretty much the exact same. I don't know other times Necromancer is brought up though. Do you see it in Rogue One as one of the codes that she goes through? Because you see some of the other ones, right?
They tell you, she calls them out. She says like there's like Black Saber, War Mantle.
Yeah, War Mantle's the one that I was thinking of.
Rogue One projects on here. If we're in the deep stuff now.
Yeah.
So it's Stellar Sphere, Mark Omega, Pax Aurora, War Mantle, Cluster Prism, and Black Saber. Some people think that War Mantle is a reference to Starkiller Base. I would love to know what Pax Aurora means in Latin, but I do.
These glyphs that you're talking about here, though, Grayson, these are Zepho, right?
Yes, but the yellow ones specifically, not the red ones. The ones in the yellow box.
They're different.
Those are more like kind of Egyptian hieroglyphics, where they're kind of in like cubes. Those right there in the yellow look a little bit different. I'd have to go. Can we get a Tony? Do you have a screenshot of that scene? Like when these have the wide shot of all the tubes and you can see the glyphs. Do you have that?
I could probably illegally bring it up. Give me a couple minutes behind the scenes.
Okay, because I want to just see that and compare it, because it was only a blink and you miss it, so I could be wrong. I'm curious. So we're seeing a lot of these teases though with like Necromancer, because you were also talking about like the lasers that we see in Mando season 3. We know that's, Gideon was up with Project Necromancer, which makes me think Gideon is going to show up in this. But there was also the place was it on Navarro? I can't remember. It was in season 2 of Mando, and him, Grief Karga, and Cara Dune go there. And that was where you see, is it Dr. Pershing? He pops back up again.
Because it looks like the same facility where he gets the blood sample from Grogu initially, right?
It was like, well, the facility was originally in the town on Navarro, and then I think they like relocated and they have like some mountain base.
It's where that really cool the scout troopers fly off.
Yes, and Gene's guy was first appeared.
Yeah, Gene's guy.
They took him out.
Yeah, they did. I know. They need to bring it back. Okay, can we get a? Oh, okay.
That's all you get. Bro.
You see those symbols right there on those.
Yeah.
Those. I mean, from what I can tell, those look like them.
I dig that. That's
somewhat, but
also the circles and the lines on the ground look
very
much like that Ahsoka episode, but almost more like the map thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really liking that if this is the direction they're going, like connecting all of these ancient religions and races and philosophies into like sourcing from one place, whether it's they might the one that looks really similar to the ones in that room are the two on the very far left, and then there's like an M. I don't know. I don't know if it's
they're all a little bit more closer together too.
Yeah, it could just be Sith like hieroglyphs or whatever. But
I wonder if you see those on Exegol at the end of Rise of Skywalker, because aren't there glyphs and stuff? Yeah, exactly. There it is.
Yeah,
good job, James.
There's all of these. There was at one point in the I think it was in the very beginning, right there where the ship is going. And the lightning storm, I was like, are we about to go to Exegol right now? And then I was like,
I thought the exact same thing. Oh, this is a good point.
I would love that.
Ingenious. War Mantle was referenced in Bad Batch Season 2, the mountain where Gregor was training with TK troopers.
Gotcha.
So I knew we saw it somewhere else again.
Yeah, I love when they connect it to like other Imperial stuff that's going on. Because that's why this is one of my main theories on our predictions episode, but I'm almost convinced. I already said that Gideon's showing up, and I do think there's a high chance that Thrawn shows up. Thrawn would be up.
Thrawn, a younger Thrawn. I would love to see like a Shadow Council meeting with. And Tony and I were talking to Hannah about it last night at 2:30 in the morning, right before Bad Batch came out.
Yeah.
I would love to see they kind of did it in the last season, right, with Krennic and all of that. So
yes,
give me Krennic, give me Moff Gideon, give me Thrawn, and then them having like maybe even Pelion there as well. Maybe it's Hux's dad, all of that at that point where they're all kind of there, and then at the end Vader walks in. Maybe Tarkin's there too, and then Vader walks in like. What is your and they give him an order. That's how Vader talks. He goes,
that's my favorite. He talks like a death trooper.
That's Darth Vader from Lego Star Wars when they're mumbling.
Give me Lego Bad Batch, please.
Yes, exactly. But I would love to see that, just like like you said, Grayson's, the inner workings of the Empire, how everybody has these different levels of clearance, and the higher clearance you have, it's like you're following a character with high clearance, you're like, okay, are we going to get some more info? Oh, wait, we're back to Omega. She doesn't have as high clearance. Or, oh, we're at Pershing now. Pershing has high clearance, but not as high. Oh, we're with Hemlock. We're definitely going to get something. So it's like, where the info is going to come from based on the person who actually has that info over everybody else.
I think that's what a lot of people also want in Andor, because the ISB is so prominent. Like, you've got a lot of. Gideon is a commander in the ISB, which I had forgotten about until I rewatched Mando recently, and I was like, oh, well, if you're not gonna put Palpatine in Andor, you better put Gideon in there. That's the one character.
We get Galen Erso in Andor season 2.
Ooh,
oh yeah.
Doesn't
Andor season 2 end like the day before Rogue One starts? So like, Galen should already be there. Yeah,
we could get Galen in this,
and
like an animated
that
Galen
would be
with
crazy, dude.
Yeah, we could.
I would love that. I would love that.
Like just all sitting around a round table, like in A New Hope or Empire, where it's just all of those Imperials, or even Andor too, where it's just like that room full of Imperials, or it's a meeting room. That would be awesome. Just get those guys filled in like that.
Oh, this was a random thing for you. Oh, go ahead and read the message first.
Can we get Hondo, please? Yeah, I would love some Hondo Anako, bro. Come on, it's my guy.
Maybe one episode, sure. Yeah, I'd be fine with that. He kind of fits in there.
Ship, and he's just got the ship or something, and is like, I got the thing that you need.
I thought so. There was the creature. I believe it's called like I want to say it's like a Pyrex or something. I don't even. It said in the subtitles, but it was the big thing that all of the hounds fight off when they try to escape.
Oh yeah, like the big hair thing.
Yeah. I thought when I heard that growl, and this is just because I replayed very obscure title here. I just replayed Mysteries of the Sith from the 90s, which is like a Mara Jade video game. It's crazy. But anyway, there was these games, which I found out these are from the Heir to the Empire through my dad, who is very proficient in his Legends knowledge. I thought it was going to be a Vornskir, which is like a tiger creature thing. And when I heard that growl, I was like, oh, that'd be, because it also would be cool. What are the names of like the iguana things that can like their screeches block the Force?
Oh, not the
Obi-Wan rides in
Isla Mari.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Oh, but those things are small.
They are. No. I wasn't saying that the creature was going to be that. I was just saying that, like, because they're in Rebels in that little statue that behind Thrawn, there's two Isla Maris because they're from the planet like what, Merkur or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
George Lucas hated those apparently.
Really?
From what I've read, he really did not like the Isla Mari because he's like, that doesn't make any sense. The Force is within everything. How can it not be in this one creature? It's just the one creature that doesn't.
I wonder the Force. I wonder what he thinks about what was it? The things in Plagueis, the people that they were using to try to attack the Jedi. They were trying to clone them.
Oh,
the dudes that had like the kind of, they were also kind of like Isla Mari. I'm intrigued if we'll ever see something like that in. It just gets my gears turning when I'm thinking about the cloning and the M counts and the Force and what they're trying to do. any of that stuff would come into play, especially because they're on Tantiss. But sorry, that's just kind of a little tangent.
Well, it makes sense too, like for the way the Empire goes and seeks out different pieces of like what they can use to kind of super scroll something in terms of cloning, where like if it doesn't work, it fails with the whole transferring of the Force essence sort of deal. Maybe they're like, well, what if we just go the complete opposite direction in something like an Islamari that can shut down or not be affected by the Force or even hinder the Force in others? What if we infuse that into an army? You know what I mean? You give them Beskar, you give them the ability to hinder the Force in others just like that Islamari.
I mean,
I'm sure that would be great.
James is saying the Zillo Beast because this armor is resistant to a lot. So that's another, because we've got in Legends there was Cortosis, and then now we have Beskar, which from what I understand, Beskar isn't like impenetrable, but it is like so highly durable that it doesn't really matter anyway.
Yeah, because there's levels of Beskar, right? It's like pure Beskar versus like, and then there's the lowest is like Durasteel or what Jango's armor used to be made out of.
I think when I was rewatching Mando, when they're trying to get Fennec Shand, and that one episode, I think it's episode 4 or 5, he gets shot by Fennec, and he's like, "Oh my!" Like at that, like that hurt. She's got like a hyper powered, rifle. Thankfully, like my Beskar held up at this range, implying that like that. Sorry, that's a whole different thing. But it is
point blank. That blaster can take down Beskar versus something. But then you're also like, oh, pure Beskar, and you see Moff Gideon fighting Mando
with a dark
spear and the dark saber. So it's like.
I think it has to be like a velocity thing rather than like the Flash, how he vibrates his molecules so fast, Die, Mandalorian. Wait, wrong universe.
The ranking of like strength of Beskar is kind of like the power rankings people they used to do with like, well, Luke's an 8. Or like what Nick Gillard used to do on the set of the prequels of, Anakin's a 10, so that means Mace Windu's a 9, but Yoda's an 11. Like that weird ranking of like, well, this blaster is a 11, so it can take down this type of Beskar. There's just so many.
The rock paper scissors of Star Wars.
Exactly.
I don't like. You ever seen that rant of what is it? Freddie Prinze Jr., where he's talking about how video games have messed up people's mind on the Force and everything. That's one of those instances where I'm like, yes, they have power levels. Obviously, like Mace Windu is going to just destroy like Padawan Ahsoka or something like that. But like the Force isn't that black and white. But anyway.
So I know, Will, you were asking earlier about this. So the next 2 weeks, 1-1. Then the week after that, we get 2. Then we get 2 more weeks of 1-1. Then we get 2, and then the last month is 1-1-1-1-1. So that's the breakdown. Next week's episode is called A Different Approach. So what do you guys think is going to happen in this episode? A different approach. You think that's going to be the bounty hunters?
I think it's probably have to call somebody in and be like, well, it's not working for us. We're going to have to work in a different way. Somebody who doesn't play by the rules. They're going to have to call somebody else like that.
They're probably going to, I'd imagine it's going to be Hunter and Wrecker. They know what sector Omega is in. They now know, they don't know that she's escaped, right? So probably they're going to, honestly, they may not even figure out that she has escaped. It might be a thing of, like, okay, we're in this sector, but we've been looking for a while. We need to call in somebody like Fennec Shand and was it Fennec and Cad Bane? Tony, you've rewatched season 1. The episode that Fennec Shand shows up in, was that for the little Rancor dude, or was that for hunting down Omega?
No, it was for hunting Omega.
Okay,
it was for hunting Omega.
So
she was hired.
So we see, in the trailer that they're not fighting Fennec because she's on that boat with them. I'd imagine they're gonna be like, well, she found her that first time, she can find her again.
That same episode, Cad Bane found Omega first, and then Fennec came and took Omega from Cad Bane. Yeah, so
cool.
Yeah,
and maybe Boba shows up because they're friends. I would really like if Fennec and Boba interact to establish their relationship. Despite Book of Boba Fett being one of my least favorite Star Wars projects, to at least be like, oh, and this is how they're friends later on,
Yeah, but it's cool to see them interact in Mando season 2 as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying, like, to kind of give that, like, loose history.
Do we see I forget in Mando season 2. Do we assume that they're meeting for the first time in Mando season 2? I don't
In
really
the
remember
desert?
how they link up. I just know that she saves him.
Because I
He
feel
saves
like
her.
yeah, he found her. He was like, when I found you in the desert, you had a
Yeah,
hole in you.
Then she gets the robot abs.
Yeah.
She does. Crunches for days.
I need to
From
rewatch
Thundercat.
that. I need to rewatch that episode and see how he says it. Like if he's like, "Oh, I found you again," or like if it seems like it's for the first
I'd
time.
imagine they surely, yeah, you would have to rewatch, but I'd imagine they surely know each other, considering Boba is like Boba and Finnick and Cad are like the three baddest bounty hunters in the galaxy between that 20 years.
Yeah.
Maybe Boba's not there yet, but still.
I always want to know why Cad Bane, if he's alive during that time, isn't asked to help in Empire. Like, I would love obviously it's that he didn't exist at that point, but like
that'd be a cool story.
When you're going through the list of bounty hunters, you're like, all right, give me these 6 guys, and Cad Bane's one of the top 6. So why isn't he there? I'd love to
alive.
get a story. Yeah,
because Amanda
that is weird.
Fennec is alive too. I'd love to know why they're not called on, or maybe Cad Bane's got a weird thing of like, I don't work with the Empire anymore.
Yeah,
love a backstory or like a one-shot comic of what Cad Bane is doing during the time of Empire.
I'd love a Cad Bane book, bro. Like,
yeah,
give me in his mind. I want to hear what if you get Corey Burton to do the voice for the audiobook.
Didn't Cad Bane train Django, or was it the other around? Django trained.
They were rivals.
Yeah.
Oh, they were rivals. Okay.
That was the entire reason why he wanted to
train
Boba, so because he wanted to get Boba, like, because Mace Windu is like, he's like, Mace Windu took my kill. I need to get back to that point to see who would actually be the best bounty hunter.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be an awesome backstory.
I'd take I'd take a movie about that, man. Like,
yeah,
but it's not gonna happen.
This is what I'm saying about how X-Men 97 isn't canon to the MCU. It's just an outside thing, and then who knows, we might see a variant or something later on in the MCU. But like, just do the exact same thing with Star Wars stories.
Please
just take it, have it be awesome. I'm sure X-Men 97 is gonna be badass. From what we've seen in the trailers, just do the same thing with Star Wars. I also really like the animation style of X-Men 97. I would love to see like an Heir to the Empire. Like,
they're also doing the Spider-Man, which used to be freshman year, now it's Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. They're doing that show, which is not going to be canon to the MCU anymore. So, like, give me that stuff. That's the stuff that I like that Marvel is doing that I wish they'd apply to Star Wars. Like, I don't want it. Like I said, I've always will say this. I don't want Star Wars to feel like the Avengers. I don't want it to be like we're rising this mountain and bam, it explodes. Like, I just want it to be. Yeah. But I like those elements from the MCU of just. I want a _90s anime of Heir to the Empire. I want it. Yeah. I see all of those AI art thing. Whatever your thoughts are on AI, I wish it was a human that did it, but still, it doesn't make me want it any less.
So shout out to all 36 of you guys watching. If you guys aren't subscribed to Mortis FM, I just dropped the link in the chat. Show Grayson some love over there. Let's get him to 200. He's at 162 right now. There's 37 of you guys. You know, that's kind of close. Let's see what we can do, guys.
That math right there. If you're not subscribed already, 37, 162, that's 199.
That's pretty close. We'll take 199.
And we're gonna check.
Yeah.
They're not. If you're joining for the first time, they're not lying. They will check. Like, he will refresh every 2 seconds.
Yep. So
if you don't like me, that's fine. I know I had some hot takes. So I still like Thrawn, guys.
Ooh, you went up 163. Shout out to whoever just subscribed. Appreciate you.
I think James is right though that the return is probably Ventress, or it's Luke Skywalker. Wait,
dude. He's just a
baby. He's not. He's like 3.
Oh yeah, he's like super young. He's like
4. Yeah.
He's like goo goo gaga.
Yeah. It's a baby, but he's wearing his all black robes the same.
You know that episode. Actually, no. This is a better analogy. Remember in Sky High? Like the gun that would turn everybody into babies.
Yep.
It's like I'm just imagining like a Muppet Babies version thing of like all the Star Wars characters. It's like, and here's baby Luke Skywalker. Say hello, Luke Skywalker.
Sidekick. Hero.
Dude, that is so good. Thank you, James. I appreciate you. By the way, I saw your little thing really quick. I do love that Kanan's sacrifice progresses the story, and I think he is a perfect character arc.
Yeah.
But bring him back from the dead, though. Everybody needs to return from the dead.
Yeah,
bring
him
back
back.
everybody. Bring
No
back
one's
Mace
ever really
Windu.
gone.
Bring back Yoda.
Mm-mm.
I want to see them all lined up, and then Boba Fett turned to the left like Wong did in Avengers Endgame. Go, you expected more?
On your left. Oh, yes. And then I dropped some more links in the chat, guys, for my podcast, for Will's channel, for the gaming channel. So show some love, guys. But yeah, what else you guys got, man? I'm hyped for next week. I'm ready for more juiciness, and like to me, this season is probably going to be the best season of Bad Batch. It already feels like it's 3 episodes in, which is crazy. It doesn't feel like how the first 2 seasons felt at all. It feels like this is adult.
Yeah. I'll keep saying it. I think this is going to be the best Star Wars project we get in 2024.
Even better than Tales of the Jedi Season 2 with Asajj Ventress and Quinlan Voss?
Dude, okay, that's the only thing that could beat this.
If Tales of the Jedi is not just 6 episodes, if they make it 12 episodes at a minimum of 4 arcs, 4 different characters, not being Ahsoka, then I think it would pass Bad Batch for me. But currently, from what we've seen, it's going to be up there.
Yeah.
I do think Acolyte has a chance, but we've seen nothing, and so I'm hesitant to say like, oh, it's going to be the best. But if I'm the type of person that like I love to be. If I'll take being proven wrong if it means something is better. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will never wish that a Star Wars project is bad. The only thing that I'm still not excited about is Skeleton Crew. But hey, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, please.
You know what? Skeleton Crew is going to be the project of the year. You heard it here.
I hope it is. I hope it is.
That would be. I mean, hey, like if
we're
sitting,
it'll probably be fine, but it's not going to be the project of the year. Like it'll be.
In my head, I'm expecting like this is like I have really low expectations. I am expecting it to be like a Book of Boba Fett level without the cameos.
Yep.
No Luke Skywalker cameo.
Yeah, it'll be little baby Max Rebo running around. And I also would like to clarify too, when I say that I think this season of Bad Batch is going to be the best thing we get in 2024, I don't mean that everything else we get this year is going to suck either. Because a lot of times they're like, oh, you think that's going to be the best? What about Acolyte? What about blah, blah, blah? That doesn't mean the other stuff isn't going to be great. I hope it's fantastic. I hope it's all so good that it's hard to choose what the best thing is. I just think for me and my what I love in Star Wars, especially around this weird espionage mystery time of the Empire, how it's connecting from Clone Wars to the original trilogy. I think this is probably going to be my favorite project. Acolyte could rock. Tales of the Jedi will probably be a banger. If it's anything like last season, it'll all probably be fantastic. I just think trajectory-wise, it'll probably be good, but whenever you say that, they go, "Oh, you don't like cheese? You like cheeseburgers? You don't like hot dogs?" Like
that was what people were doing when I said I liked Hemlock slightly better than Thrawn. They're like, I'm like, I just like him currently a little bit better. That doesn't mean I dislike Thrawn. I still love Thrawn.
Nobody's ever heard of a tier list.
So I do want to
burger with my hot dog.
So we do have one little thing to talk about, which we had been throwing around in the chat, and that's the heavy leaks and rumors that Acolyte will come out on June 5th.
Yep, confirmed.
And I believe that makes sense. So that means we're going to have a month between content, but typically I find it odd if that was the case, why, unless there's something in between, which I do think there is, why they would try to rush out all these episodes before May 4th, right? Because it makes it seem like they're going to try to release something on May 4th. And in my mind, if we're going by the trend of the last season of Tales of the Jedi, they're probably going to drop. This is just my guess. They're probably going to drop all of Tales of the Jedi or start Tales of the Jedi on May 4th.
I don't know, because well, if that's the case, we would get a trailer because we got a trailer for Tales, so then we would know before. It wouldn't be like a surprise.
That's a good point, but also didn't we get a trailer way early in advance for Bad Batch season 2, and then this year they were like, it's January, here's a trailer. Oh yeah, it comes out next month.
So that makes sense. They would do that for Acolyte. May the 4th, here's your Acolyte trailer. A month later, there's a show. Tales, I don't know when they're gonna drop it. I would love to be wrong, and for them to wake up on May the 4th and like here it is, like that day would be epic because like I'm off, I'll wake up, watch Tales, go watch Phantom Menace, and like what a day.
The Star Wars Day, baby. Star Wars Day. I mean, I also am basing that on the information that with Visions, they had announced Vision Season 2, and we had maybe gotten a little bit of footage from it, from like a sizzle reel, but then they dropped all of that on May 4th last year. Like they've had this trend. So last year was Visions. The year before that, I don't think they had dropped anything because, or was it Kenobi?
Kenobi was during Anaheim Celebration because I was there when they dropped the first.
What was the dates for that?
I think it was either in April or May.
So,
but it wasn't May the 4th though. It wasn't May the 4th. It was like it was the end of May because I remember I dropped my first video May 30th, so it was the end of May.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
after, yeah,
interesting. So I guess they were just probably waiting on the countdown for that. But then the year before that would have been what, 2021?
Yeah.
Did anything come out that year?
I can't even remember this morning, bro. You're asking the wrong person.
Oh man,
I wouldn't be surprised if what people are saying, like I know Tony, you think this too. If Tales of the Jedi is going to be about Asajj and Quinlan Vos, which would be cool. Yep. I'd like to see what they're doing. Is it my first pick? Probably not. Show me Luke Skywalker after Return of the Jedi.
Quinlan was here.
Maybe he will be. Maybe he will not be here. But if Tales of the Jedi comes out like that, I don't know. I could see it being like what Episode 5 was, the resurrection, or not the resurrection, the return. If that pops up with Asajj, I could see Disney Star Wars, because they've kind of just been like willy-nilly with the way they've been dropping info, where they'll just post stuff. I would not be surprised if they lined it up with Asajj coming back in Bad Batch Season 3 of like, you like that Asajj is back? Well, here's the poster for Tales of the Jedi Season 2.
Yeah.
And it's like that, and then we get a trailer later on.
What if they Andor it? What if they just like, what if like the episode we get Asajj is like right in the middle, right? And then what if they just drop Tales the same day? Because they dropped Tales the same day as Andor in the middle of the season, which made no sense.
Yeah.
So like, what if we get the Asajj episode and they're like, hey, learn more about Asajj here on Tales of the Jedi?
I don't think that they will have two things running congruently.
They've done it before with the first Tales.
But they didn't have all of the stuff with the strikes pushing everything back, that now they're kind of sitting on a lot of stuff. I don't know if they would, especially because they're pushing back every movie and scheduling everything for far away. There's a lot of stuff for Star Wars that can come out this year, but I think they might spread it out a little bit more. I would love it to come out all at the same time. Give it to me all in the same month. I don't care. I want to see it.
What if they did, if it was 12 episodes and each one is like 3 episodes about one character, so that's 4 characters in total. Bad Batch ends on May 1st, then May 4th, it's like, oh, here's the first 3 episodes of Tales of the Jedi, and then every week we get 3 leading up to Acolyte. I don't know, maybe that's too much, but...
Or like, what if Season 2, we get an episode every day for however many days straight?
Like what if?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't hate that.
That would be cool.
Disney Plus's release of... You know, it's crazy. So they need to. I mean, I don't mind that we get some cool stuff like what if being like, oh, one of every day of the holiday, like, oh, that's awesome. But I'm mad. Like in my mind, the 3 a.m. thing is still ridiculous. Like
I hate it.
It's like, give me that, dude. Ahsoka being at 9 p.m. was amazing. Dude.
Perfect, bro.
We all got to watch together at either on the West Coast or the East Coast. It was like when we got
Europe.
Sorry guys. Sorry everybody over there. Probably Hannah as well. She's probably on the complete other side of the earth. But it made it more of an event. And I know what sometimes people don't want Star Wars to be like an event thing, but like when you see, I remember there was a video of when House of the Dragon was coming out, and there was like someone was looking at somebody's apartment complex, and every single TV had House of the Dragon on.
That's what it was like before COVID with like Game of Thrones or even Mando, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I remember when Mando dropped, I was a Disney cast member. And I remember going back to the apartments that night. It was right before Galaxy's Edge opened too. It was like at the same time. So everybody was going nuts about Star Wars.
This is for Mando?
This is for Mando season 1. I remember going back to the apartments for Disney college program housing for all the DCP cast members, and going back and seeing all of the patios of people watching it in their living room, of just because obviously it was just the first episode at that point. So everybody was doing that. I remember getting off my last boat of that shift for DCP that day, and everybody being like, Did you watch the episode? Did you watch the episode? Like they had just watched it on break. Everybody was bugging out about Mando, the season 1, episode 1. Dude, that was such a fun night. That was such a fun time.
Man. I that's how Star Wars should be, you know?
Yeah.
Whether it's the theater, whether it's the shows,
I think this year we'll get back to that a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think we will. I think we're removed from COVID enough and all of the weirdness that COVID pushed back and the strike and everything. Yeah. I think we're removed enough from it now that we'll see more, because honestly, with Bad Batch starting off the year the way it is, if it continues to be this great, I think everybody's going to be in an awesome mood for everything Star Wars related moving forward.
I've been on a Star Wars high since Ahsoka started. Like, you know,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, and I know there was that little bit of a gap right there, but and it's also that I started Mortis right before Ahsoka, but being able to like be in this group, and now we're reading books, and now it's like, bam, here's Bad Batch, and we're all talking about it in the group chat, and it's like, oh, you guys want to hop on this live stream? Let's talk about it. Let's do our predictions. Like, it's a lot of fun, and it's
fun, man.
It's the peak of like the Star Wars community is when it feels like this, you know?
Yeah, it's nice being happy again. Just like in Ahsoka, we said the same thing. This is what it likes to feel happy.
Yeah.
I
know, man. And we're just getting more. We're getting, more Mando. We're getting Ahsoka season 2, which if they do that at 9 p.m., I cannot wait.
Better, bro. Tano Tuesday. They'll probably do it just because of Tano Tuesday and like merp, which is great because we could bring back the live pre-show, the live after show. It's because it's perfect timing.
So good. Get to all watch it together
Tano
and talk
Tuesday
about it.
for a 2 a.m. release.
Oh my God. No. That's stupid. That's Wednesday. That's Wednesday.
Tano, thank you. Yeah. No, thank you. There it is. I knew it was there.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for the next couple weeks.
Yep. Well, I think that pretty much does it for this week. Shout out to Grayson for coming on and having fun with us.
Got you guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. And yeah, guys, we'll see you guys next week, Wednesday. Stay out of trouble.